Here.
Okay. I didn't hear you if you said anything, Fee, but okay, yeah, okay. Alright. Okay, then I guess we can get started. Change the music. Alright, does anyone want to go over what we did last time?
Yeah, I can just now just a second.
I mean, I could do it. Basically, we just...
Didn't you do it last time?
Well...
Kevin did it last time. It doesn't matter who does it, I just want somebody to do it.
I mean, Moon, you can do it if you want to.
Yeah, we almost had action last time. We started with a lot of soap shopping. Magical soap.
Don't forget the stamps.
Oh well, did we buy any stamps? I think we only Fifi bought stamps.
Yeah, Fee bought a few.
Yeah, we bought a few stamps, but then we went into a huge magical soap shopping. It sounds so funny. Then we discovered there is a nearby Storm King, I'm sorry, Stormtroopers hideout. So we went to investigate and we met supposedly a light brigand on our way back. She almost got her. She almost got herself caught up trying to snoop around the boss workstation, but she heroically jumped through the window and escaped. And we are meeting our allies next night to read a note he managed to steal and nobody could read at the time. So we have to wait for our supposed allies to return and their mage to read the note so we can make plans for further infiltrating the camp.
Yep, that's pretty much the gist of it. I gave you an inspiration on your character sheet.
Thank
So
you.
yes, basically you guys went to a store called Jolly's Trinkets. You bought some soap. You bought some other things. You looked at some of his wares. He has some statues that turn into animals. He has a stamp that like makes you go really fast and really gets you like all energized. And you guys also buy a bunch of magical soaps. You guys investigate the nearby bandit encampment, and while you were there, the other adventuring party that seems to be in town or the village, you guys came across each other, talked a little bit. Fee went to go infiltrate the encampment. She got a letter out of Okers, who's the leader of the bandits. She got a letter out of his desk and escaped with it. Then you guys kind of spent the night trying to think about like what the letter said, but you couldn't really pick out anything. And or sorceress of the other party that she could try and decode it, but she would need a day to prepare the spell. So that's what you guys are kind of waiting on, is for her to prepare the spell. And you guys spent the night in a tiny hut, and we start the session sort of late morning. You guys stayed up pretty late last night, so it's kind of late morning, and disappeared, and you guys are all awake, safe and sound. You guys are kind of on the outskirts of Shelltown at the moment, not exactly inside of its borders, but not too far away either.
And we decided to sleep in this magical hut, I think. Didn't we?
And that's what yep, you did. I slept in the hut.
Alright, so what do we want to do?
Well, I think it all depends on what they're gonna do, doesn't it? I mean, we do have to get to the wizard girl, to for her to translate the script, but otherwise, I think we're more on the defensive here than on the offensive.
Didn't you keep saying you had something that you're supposed to pick up today?
Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
his new pillow.
Yeah, it was. You said it was supposed to help with poking her finger through your chest or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, it helps with disguising myself. You see, as I'll do like the trick again, and if you were to touch, if you were to touch my chest right here, as I'm disguised as a woman, you would feel nothing. You would just feel it right through. But with this harness, you would actually feel something, making the illusion way more real.
It's very true.
When's it gonna be ready? Today, right?
Yep, I'll just have to get it.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, we got a whole day to spend. What do you want to do?
Well, let's first of all get. I'll get to the harness shop first. Get my stuff ready, and then we can go meet up with the wizard girl.
All right. I think we should all stick together for now, just in case. There's not a lot of halflings running around, so they might suspect, us or someone from the other group.
All right.
Safety in numbers is what I'm saying.
You were probably correct with that. I still have to get back into the voice, man. The dance of the voice.
So the first stop for you guys is to go to this is a small little rundown tailor shop that doesn't really seem to get a lot of business. You walk in there, and the same sort of scrawny man that was working there, that owns the place, I suppose is like what I should be saying. He's standing there and he's sort of he's sewing something. It looks like some sort of like fabric. It's some kind of a raw type material, and he looks up and he's like, "Oh, I was expecting you." He goes in the back really quickly, and you can kind of hear him like rustling through like the kind of sound of clothes brushing against one another, and he comes back out. Right, here you go. I got your harnesses. I got the pillows, all this stuff ready for you.
Well, thank you very much, sir.
Very welcome. I appreciate the business. Make sure you tell all your friends, all right?
Yeah.
Oh, we're never gonna forget this. You can believe that.
He's like, oh, and then he's like, oh yeah. Do you want a bag? You want a bag?
Yes, please.
He kind of goes and he pulls out this sort of a brown paper bag, and he gives it to you. And he puts the stuff in there. Probably best to keep it on the down low. I assume the yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I look into the pillows and poke them, like to see if they actually feel real.
They're firm but like soft pillows. They feel like they'd be comfortable to sleep on.
Oh.
Quality.
Real
Definitely
titties.
real pillows.
They're not illusions.
Yeah, I assume the man can't have any feel over that. They'll have to just not do it.
Yeah, I think if you actually get in a situation, just like slap their hand away real quick. Like just like slap their hand away real quick. Then they get like just embarrassed to touch.
Yeah,
Something like
else
that.
it might not pass for a real thing.
Dancer, this just might be crazy enough to work.
Well, we do the things differently back in the forests.
I'm not going to ask any further questions about that.
I was going that. Are you speaking out of experience, being a woman?
sorry, could you repeat it? You cut out for me on the last part.
I was wondering if you can speak out of experience for being a woman.
Not for being a woman, but I've been forced to wear dresses a lot.
Why?
He said they do things different in the forest.
He said he's been forced. And I asked why.
Well, my adoptive father likes me wearing dresses.
Interesting little.
This is a little heavy for me. I'm gonna walk out.
All right.
Did you
Eventually,
agree
you
not
guys
to
will all
split
make
the
your way
party?
outside of the building. I'll make your way outside. A couple of guards, the two guards that used to be posted on the wall seem to be patrolling, sort of like inside of the shell town, and they kind of glance over at you as they walk by, and kind of just they sort of they're be kind of
Oh,
purveying the village. Don't really say anything to you. They just kind of glance at you. More of a glare than a glance, but they just kind of walk on. Town is kind of in population at the moment. A lot of the people are out working at the clam fields once again. Kind of just the typical routine. Nothing really changes around here. But if you guys want to find something to do, it's kind of to you guys. The adventuring party did tell you that they're usually at the tavern, or at least some of them are at the tavern at like all times. So talk to them. That's where they're gonna be.
I have some wine or stuff.
Yeah, he's back.
Good. Yeah.
Ready?
Yes.
No, but my window was open and my dad was smoking. Oh. Yeah.
What was that?
I was asking. Fee was asking if Reggie you want to go to the tavern to get some drinks, but actually just going there and wait for the other party.
Fee, I am always down to hit a tavern.
Then we should go then. What about you, Moon? And Dancer too.
Well, they're probably there, so I guess it's a good idea.
Reggie went out first, so we're actually going. I'm not in the mood to play.
I just stepped outside. I didn't leave.
You guys are all together at this point in time. I said that you guys all made your way outside of the shop. You guys are all outside.
So
Before that, can Fee change her cloak into a more brighter color so that it appears different from the one that she infiltrated the camp?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Okay, Fee will change it into a bright, kind of like the one she performance on the stage with the twins.
Okay. Very nice. You kind of flick the cape and kind of pop the collar a little bit, and it just changes color. Pretty much, it's kind of like an instant thing. It's not like a gradual thing. It's kind of just you're looking fresh. You're looking fresh.
Okay, I'm good to go. Shall we go to the tavern?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm eager to find out what's on this letter.
Ready? You guys make your way down to ye old tankards and tumbles, and you walk on in. Still sort of thinned crowd, not very many people in here. To be expected. You see Silas kind of sitting up there at the bar. The acrobats aren't really performing because there's not really a crowd. Everybody's kind of sitting around. Kind of glance over and you see the table where the adventuring party is usually at. You see Glidna, the human barbarian woman. You see Beerus, the dwarf, and you see Turner, the halfling. They're all sitting there. And Turner kind of sees you guys come in, and he kind of goes, "Hey," and he waves you over to the table.
Hey. Is Belle here?
No, you can't. You don't see the other two members of the party at the moment.
Yeah. The sorceress is
Well, I
missing.
saunter on over there.
All right. Hey, how you doing? Good to see that you guys got well rested. All that good stuff.
Yeah. So,
I'm not good at small talk.
where's the other member?
So Clarence, he went out to go hunting this morning, and then Belle wanted to go with them. They got kind of a, don't spread the gossip. They got a little thing going on. I think. I don't know. What do you think? And he kind of looks over at Beerus, and Beerus like, "You're a fucking idiot," and then looks over at the female barbarian. She just shrugs. Got something going on. Anyways, yeah. So they went out hunting pretty much.
Can't say a word.
But I mean, it's only been like an hour and a half since they went, so
Spread what word?
probably be back in like another hour or two,
Yeah.
I would say.
What are they going to spread? What word?
What'd you say?
You said they were going to spread the word, and I was asking what word.
No, that's not what I said. I said like, don't spread the word. Got something like romantic going on. That's what I was talking about. I don't let it don't let it get out everywhere. You know what I mean? But
Oh.
they just decided to go hunting, so it'll probably be a couple hours. If you wanted to go, I mean, you could go find them right now if you really wanted to. I don't know exactly where they went.
Well, Belle's kind of our meal ticket, if you know what I'm saying. I'd hate for something to happen.
I mean, Belle's pretty capable. She can take care of herself. Clarence, I mean, he's a good guy. He sings pretty well, but he's not like he's not the brightest bead in the pouch, if you know what I mean. Clarence, I mean, not Clarence, Belle more than makes up for it. She's pretty smart and bright. They'll probably be alright. Much just going through the local, just sort of like the grasslands where like the grass gets really high. They said that they were looking for, things like that. And also pill bugs, because, was talking about, like, he just came up in conversation. They were talking about how he needed some pill bugs.
What are pill bugs used for?
Pill bugs, you've seen them before, and I believe one of you has had them before.
I had delicious pill bug soup.
Yes, pill bug. So it's basically it's like a very large, sort of dark blue tinted roly poly, and whenever it gets cooked, it folds up and it turns a sort of blue color. It starts turning like a little bit red, like not completely, kind of like a lobster or a crab.
Like the stuff that Kronk cooks in Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, and then like basically you kind of split it open when you eat it, and you just kind of eat it with a spoon or stick a straw on and sip it out. It's pretty good if it's cooked, if it's prepared correctly. If it's not prepared correctly, you can be at risk for like salmonella and things of that sort and other diseases. But it's pretty tasty. At least that's probably what Reginald would have told you.
Yes, I would tell you it's used for eating.
It's pretty good.
Plus the other stuff you said.
Yeah, sure. Have you tried it?
Yeah, well, I had it in a soup in, was it Dogtown or was it here? I can't even remember, but it was...
I think it was Dogtown, but It seems to be pretty common in the southern parts. I mean, at least in the 2 places that you've really visited thus far. Seems to be pretty.
Baked up of wheat caterpillars.
Not very expensive, so I mean, kind of like a nice little working class dish. But yeah, so that's what they went and did. Around in the grasslands around here and probably looking at trees. You know, pill bugs, they like to climb up in trees or not trees. Whoops. Mushrooms. They like to climb up on the mushrooms and get all up inside of them and stuff like that, so.
Of course. Who doesn't know that about pill bugs?
I know, right? If you don't know that about pill bugs, you're probably, I don't know, you're probably like an idiot.
I know. That's silly.
That's silly. Ridiculous.
To not know that about pill bugs.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It makes me question levels
It makes
of
me
my
question your
fellow
sanity.
people.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
It makes me question their sanity.
All right, well, so I guess we can sit here and wait for them to get back, or, you know, we get looking for
I don't feel like going.
Oh,
So you guys, we're gonna be drinking here, so.
I guess we could. I guess I could ask some birds or something. Maybe they know where they went.
You can talk to animals. That's pretty freaky.
Yeah. Okay.
You're telling me. I just thought he was
Well, that's not
crazy
good
like the
enough.
first week I knew him, but then it turns out like he could really talk to him.
Met an old druid woman named Phoebe, and she could talk to animals. She was pretty interesting. She doesn't live that far from here, actually. She's kind of just like an old. I mean, she's an old bitch, to be honest. But I mean, you know, could talk to animals and stuff.
Does she
Cool.
live in a cave?
She doesn't live in a cave, no. She
we
lives
have
in like an old little hut.
Do we have some kind of map that we carry around? In that case, I would like him to like mark it on the map. I want to meet.
I don't think you guys have bought a map.
We could get one.
Yeah, you could buy one. There is a general store. You could probably
Okay.
find one of like the
Alright.
local area.
Let's
I'm gonna be honest with you and say that I do not have one drawn out. I just have one that's on the front page, but we can say that you know where stuff is if you have
Who
it.
cares? I just want to know where the where the weird.
Okay. Yeah, you could probably go buy one at the general store if you wanted to go there.
All right.
That
How
sounds like
how
a
much
good
are they?
idea.
You'd have to go and ask.
Oh yeah, that's
How
right.
much are those?
By the way, you guys would have to buy that. I don't have money anymore. I forgot. My money is.
Yeah,
at the-
okay. If we want a map, I can sponsor a map. It's not a big deal.
Sponsor them up.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
I
bad.
know the area pretty well, but you know, a map would still be helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know this local area that well. I mean, I know the general locations. I couldn't find someone's hut, you know, but
Ready?
Let's go.
If that's where you guys want to go, you can go there.
yeah. All right, we're going to go get a map, and maybe we'll be back here. Maybe we'll go looking for your companions. We haven't decided.
We'll definitely go back here. So we want to mark that spot on the map. Sounds pretty interesting.
We haven't decided yet.
That's true.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm messing.
Alrighty. So you guys have passed by the general store a few times, walking by it. It's really plain. I mean, the sign on the outside is like really just kind of generic. It literally just says general store. It looks like the exterior is upkept to a certain degree. Like, I mean, they don't really care to get rid of like, you know, they don't care to get rid of like all like these like vines that are kind of growing on the outside of the building. But I mean, they do get rid of like any like moss and things of that sort that just are extremely unappealing. They make sure to keep the kind of exterior trimmed up. even though there's not a lot of plant life in the shell town itself because it's like really muddy. There is some flower pot sitting at the outside. It looks like they're kind of worse for wear. But yeah. So you go inside. You kind of he's just kind of sitting behind the desk part. There looks to be two young men that seem to be stocking things on shelves, and you see this rather gruff, older human man, maybe in his like 50s. Hi, how you doing? Welcome to the general store. You with?
Hello.
Just give me a holler.
We've been wondering if you have any maps of the area.
And
Are you okay, sir?
He picks up a bucket and he spits up this black stuff inside of it. Yeah, we have maps. We got damn, John, to one of the young men who seems to be putting up what looks to be like a large bag of grain of some sort. He seems to be putting it like inside of this large wooden box. I'll be right there, Dad. And he puts it in. I need you to go grab some of the case with the maps. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Dad, right away. Do you want me to bring out your medicine while you? I'm fine. Just go get the maps. About 5 minutes later, the young man comes back outside with it's like a large sort of cylindrical, but it's a large tube that seems to have multiple scrolls of paper inside of them, and he kind of sets it in front of the man. All right, so what's your spending range? Depending on how much you got, depends on the quality of the map. Well, I mean, if you just want like a simple map that's not extremely detailed, just kind of has like the main stopping points of this kind of local area, that's going to run you about 5 silver. You know, more detailed one that is like that has a couple of the villages such as Shelltown and etc. That's going to be about a gold. Thing a little bit more extravagant. We have one map that's like rather big. It has some layouts of like some of the sort of tourist attractions, you know, around the area. That's going to run you about 5 gold.
Can you show us
That's
the
kind of
map?
like the range.
After seeing the maps, if you show them, we will decide which one we want.
You keep cutting out at the end of your sentence.
I was asking if you can show us the maps, so we will decide upon seeing the maps which one we will take.
I mean, he already told us that he didn't have any maps, so
I don't have anything drawn out for it, but I mean, basically, the 5 silver map, it's gonna have like the big towns labeled, and that's pretty much it.
So you're
one gold map.
Yourself?
We have some people that are like freelancers. They come in and they sell them.
I will take out a gold piece and set it down and say, I'll just take the gold worth of them.
So you don't want to visit any tourist attractions?
Tourist attractions? No. What? You want some huge map with a bunch of tourist attractions?
No, I was wondering what else is on the map besides the tourist attractions.
While he's wrapping up the map and you're talking about the tourist attractions, he kind of has his back turned to you. He puts his head over. You know, I mean, there's some pretty cool stuff around here. There's a cave that's pretty well known around here. There's a couple little small patches of forest that are pretty famous. There's a druid grove. Well, so I mean, it's pretty nice. And he kind of.
Okay.
Well, of course he would say that. He's trying to get our money.
Well, let's be honest though, guys. Like, the mermaids were just some weird tourist attraction, and we saw them, so that's something interesting. If there's more of that kind of stuff, we might find interesting stuff on our ways. I mean, I'm willing to definitely pitch in free gold.
Well, I've already put my
of
1
course,
gold down.
we have some treasure over there too.
I was wondering.
I mean,
if
he's
it's
right. You
right.
know, I mean, for all you know, I mean, you might be able to go and find you some more treasure, and you'll just make a profit out of it.
You're gonna slam 5 gold onto the table. Give it that one, please.
I like you, little lady, and he kind of scoops the gold, and he takes the nice map, and he starts wrapping it up as well. Do you still want your map, sir? And he kind of points it in your general direction.
Yeah, I'll have one for myself.
All right, there you go. He gives you the more kind of it's not the simplest map. It's kind of like you got all the cities and stuff on here, and then he gives you like the really fancy map fee. There you go. I hope you guys enjoy that stuff. Is there anything else that you guys are interested in? We got food. We got tools. We got packs. We got sleeping bags, tents. We got what are those things called again? And you see this kid. He turns around. He has he has glasses on. He has kind of like slicked back black hair. He seems to be his other son. We have some potions. I don't know what they do, but
Can we look at the
I told
potion?
Dad that they were magical.
I don't know
Let's see.
how about some information? Have you heard about a woman somewhere near here that can speak with animals?
She might be in the cave earlier.
No, she lives in a hut.
With animals,
It's good he bought the most detailed map, so we probably could find
Oh.
her.
Not really. I mean, there's legend of like a witch around here, but I mean, nothing like that. I mean, it's kind of just like a
Are we talking
Wives' tale.
like, are we talking about like a hag or like a wizard?
I don't know. Everyone just calls it a witch, so I couldn't tell you.
Well, if it's a hag, we probably don't want to meet her.
I don't
Why
even know what
not?
a hag is. I mean, are you just talking about like an old ugly lady? I mean, I've seen plenty. I mean, there's plenty of those
no.
living here. There's plenty of those living
Oh,
here,
no,
buddy.
no.
I
my,
mean-
my my friend, if you ever meet a hag, you will know they're like shriveled up, ugly creatures of the night that just curse you with weird spells and such.
Yeah, I've run into them before.
Sounds like my wife.
Yeah, it's my ex. Right? You know what I'm talking
Guys, talking from experience.
Most likely they do.
I'm beginning to wonder why Dancer even want to wear the woman's clothes.
Well, see now, he can perfectly impersonate that hag. He has the on-hand experience with it.
I mean, I could impersonate a hag, but I don't want to scare the shit out of him. A hag is pretty ugly. I mean, sir, if you want to see one, I could show you how they look like.
Nah, don't worry about it.
I've seen.
You can do that when we are infiltrating a camp.
Seen a lot in my time, to say the least. I mean, I've seen plenty of ugly old ladies, you know.
The old lady.
Hey, actually, I do have something that you might be able to help me with. I
Really?
need some more powder for my powder horn.
Oh. Okay.
I just want to top it off.
Powder. Do we have any powder left in stock? We recently had a small we recently had some brigands come by and wipe us out. Well, I'll go check that. And he kind of runs up. He seems to be running like up some stairs that are kind of up there. With like two small like horns. What are they called? Is that what they're called? I don't. Powder horns. Powder. He comes down with two powder horns. This is all we got left, sir. I mean, it should be enough if you only got one thing. If you're
Yeah,
interested
you
in
know what?
buying it.
Can I just buy the? I'll just buy one of your horns off you.
One of them, you know, I could sell you both of them. Buy one, get one half off. Would you be interested in
And
that?
how much is the one?
Well, if you're gonna be buying both of them, I think I can let it go for a gold and 5 silver.
You know what? Fine, I'll take it. A gold and 5 silver.
And he gives you a sly smile, and he packs up your gunpowder horns, and he gives them to you. Hope they serve you well.
Here, I hand him 2 gold pieces.
I mean,
and
that's
I'm
quite the beauty
really
you got on your back
appreciative.
there. 2 gold pieces, he gives you 5 silver back.
Good news,
Quite
everyone.
the beauty you
I've
got on your
silver
back.
again. Oh yes, yes. This is my baby. I treat her right, and she treats me right. A lot better than the old hag I dated.
Oh, I understand that, man.
Did you say the rifle or something?
What?
You were just showing off your rifle and you said it's better than the old hag you dated, so can I assume the old one was an old rifle?
No, I'm talking about my ex.
Exactly. I was going to get worried.
Sorry.
All right. Well, is there anything else I can do for you?
Do you know where I can send letters to the other cities?
It's here. You can send letters here.
Oh, Fee gonna take out a letter with inside an envelope and then with a small package and then set it down.
Ready? Do you have like the address? Like, who are you sending it to, or where are you sending it to?
He was gonna send it to her house in Nastrat.
Okay.
And she promised her family that she will write home and stuff.
Kind of looks at it. Oh, nice ride, huh? Well, the courier fees. I mean, that's pretty far away. That's gonna be about 3 silver for the courier fees.
You're gonna give him a gold piece.
Righty, he gives you 7 silver back.
Good news too.
I
I
will-
have some silver.
We'll make sure it gets there. All right. All right.
Thank you.
Let's do that. And he kind of takes your stuff and he kind of bundles it together and he just puts it in this large crate that they have. It seems to be where they keep all their mail and things like that. Anything else? So cool. We got lots of stuff.
Should we look at the potion from them?
You guys are interested in the? All right. I will let you know that they're a little bit on the pricey side, just to warn you. And he kind of pulls out, like this very small, like wooden box, and he opens it up, and it's kind of split off into sections, or it looks like it's able to hold like 6 bottles. And he pulls out, he's like, they all do the same thing. I don't really know what they do. I just know that they're all the same. He kind of pulls them out. Make intelligence checks for anyone that's like looking at the.
Okay. Intelligence check.
14's good enough. So I mean, we'll just say that that's good enough for everybody. They look like potions of healing. There's
They
about
look
4
like
of them.
potions of healing.
Kind of similar to what you've seen before. It's kind of like this kind of, it's almost like lava lampy, like these potions of healing, where they have like the bubbles that are constantly floating from the bottom to the top, and the liquid's kind of thick and viscous, like cough syrup. About 52 gold apiece.
Oh.
I mean,
Fine.
What?
Supposed
no,
to be
buy one,
pretty
get one
good.
free deal?
I might run a discount if you were to buy all 4 of them. I think I could do that. Maybe buy 3, get 1 free. That type of thing.
What is the single price?
52 gold for one of them.
How much gold?
52,
52.
52, 52.
Oh, 52. So you're saying we buy 3 and we get 1 for free?
Exactly what I'm saying. Not a horrible deal, but I mean, I know it's a lot of gold. I'm not saying you got to buy 3 of them. I'm just saying.
I don't know how much gold you guys got on you, but we could use some healing potions. I could pitch in for one. I could pitch in 52.
I can pitch for the other 2, so we are getting 3 and we are paying for 3 and we are getting 4, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
So you guys are gonna.
104 from you.
yeah, 104 from me.
Right, so you guys hand him over this large amount of gold. He's like, hold on 1 second. And he pulls out a small little burlap pouch and he starts scooping the gold into there. And he's kind of counting it in like sets of like tens. So it takes a couple minutes for him to count through all this gold. Yeah, that's right. And he ties it off and he puts it underneath the counter. And he's like, here you go. And he takes out the 4 potions out of the case and he hands them to you.
Okay.
Should we split up 1 for each of us?
Oh.
I was more thinking more potions from the frontliners.
I want 1.
I mean, he paid for 1, so I mean, I think you automatically get 1. Like he hands one of them to you, and he hands the other 3 to Moon.
I'm putting my 1 in my backpack. I'll leave the other 3 up to the rest of the party to figure out.
I did pay for 2, so I'm
Thing-
pocketing 2 and we're getting
it's a-
1 free.
Oh, okay.
Who wants the free one?
Fee gonna point to dancer.
Well, I would definitely appreciate it. I don't have much money currently.
I think you should have it, dancer. I can run back and forth from the front line to the back line.
Yeah, plus you can do that thing where no one can see you.
Yeah, of course. And then I can kill
Okay. I'm
you guys
still
when you guys need
certain.
to.
Okay.
Okay, well, just make sure you subtract the gold and make sure that you all add the potions to your inventory.
We really need to loot the camp.
Oh, I plan on doing more than looting.
You planning?
Alright, well, I hope they all serve you well. Thank you for your business. I appreciate it, and hope you all have a good day.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
All right, let's go.
All right. Before
Are you
we
okay?
I'm good. Just smoked a little too much.
Oh, is that why you're cooking this black stuff?
Yeah, they call that
I don't smoke.
tobacco.
I don't smoke anymore. I just smoked it way too much when I was younger.
Hmm.
Anyways,
It's a filthy habit, and it's disgusting. Now I'm gonna go drink my ass off.
Yeah, let's ask that guy where he saw the druid woman or whatever. Mark it on the map, and then we'll go look for the others, I guess.
Yeah, mark it on the
so you
map.
guys go back to the tavern. They're all 3 of them are still in there, and then no sign of Clarence or Bell. But Turner, you kind of walk up to him. Oh, the old lady. She lived. Oh, he got a natural 20 on his intelligence check. He marks with so much confidence and speed on your map. He's like, I think she was somewhere around there. Pretty
Nice,
confident in
that's
my
one.
answer.
I'm taking a piece of my charcoal and making a circle after his finger was moved.
Alrighty. Yeah, you marked it on the map.
I
That's
marked on the
pretty
map.
much where her hut was, as far as I remember.
Alright.
I put a question mark above it as well.
I don't know why you guys want to meet her, but weird or anything. I mean, she was kind of weird, but I mean,
Oh, we are weird.
not in
I-
like a way, you know.
I think we are perfect.
I mean, she was ugly, but she wasn't as ugly as Glidna. And you see this barbarian just punch him, and he goes flying across the room.
Is Glidna
That's not-
actually ugly?
That's not nice insulting a lady like that.
Glidna is not. She's not ugly, but she's not pretty. She has a crooked nose. Like that's like the main thing about her. She looks like she's gotten in like a lot of fights.
Where
So she
she's
has like a
half
lot of scars
barbarian.
and scrapes. She has like her nose is like bent to one side a little bit. But I mean, she's not ugly.
Okay.
You know what? I look at Glitner and tell her, you know what? I think you look beautiful. And then I'll go to the bar and get myself some bread.
I look at you and say, like, be careful what you're getting you into.
She kind of like whenever you tell her that, she kind of gives you like a weird look and just kind of doesn't really say much. She's kind of like the strong, silent type of person. So I mean,
Well, at least she was deeply flattered by me.
maybe.
I mean, I guess,
at least she didn't punch you.
I guess I could try persuasion. 17. She was deeply flattered by that. Yeah, after I deeply flattered her, I'm going to the bar or whatever and get myself some bread. How much does that cost?
Bread, it's like I think bread is like 2 copper.
Okay, I'll get myself some bread.
Aren't
Make
you
it
going to
and
drink yourself?
crumble it up so the birds will will be able to eat it easily, and then we can go outside.
Okay.
All right, let's do this thing.
All right,
You walk out of the little tavern. You see Turner. His nose is bleeding, and he's kind of slumped against the wall with his head down. Beerus, a dwarf, looks like he's had way too many drinks, and he's just kind of face down. There's like a little pool of drool on the table. And you guys nod as you walk out.
Yeah, I just go outside and see the first birds I see. I like pull out my breadcrumbs and I'm like, hello, kind gentleman. Could you help me? Could you help me out a little bit? I have food in exchange.
So the first birds are seagulls.
I mean, they probably do like bread too, right?
Seagulls will eat anything. Yes.
Yeah,
But-
I go to some of the seagulls.
They start swarming around you. There's about 15 of them. Make make an animal handling check as they're just like swarming around you.
I would say make a dexterity check because if there were seagulls around,
I already did animal handling, okay?
So
Can you
how are you
steal your
how are
bread?
you talking to them?
Well, I'm literally just talking to them. That's like a.
Oh yeah, like
that's-
what? Forward again, B speech. Okay, I'm just making sure. All right.
Yeah, that's an invocation.
So you start talking to them and you make an animal handling check. A lot of them just take the bread and fly away because they're seagulls and they're fucking horrible. They're like mine, like in Nemo, and they're just like
Mine,
taking
mine,
the bread,
mine.
and then like about 3 of the 15 stick around, and they're kind of pecking at the bread on the ground, and they're making that annoying seagull just kind of. I can't imitate it. Don't ask me to. But
please don't. I live in a town that's full with seagulls. I hate them.
but yeah, they're kind of looking at you. What do you ask them?
Yo, guys, could you help me out a little bit? I need to find like these 2 guys. There's this one elven woman, and what was the other guy again?
Human. I
Human.
think.
A
The human.
Yeah, and I'll just describe them a little bit. They're somewhere in the forest here. Could you point me to them?
We don't really go in the
That's
forest. We kind of stay near the sea. Also, you can talk to us. That's pretty weird, right, guys? And like, yeah. That's pretty weird. yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, I can talk to all animals.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty. That's yeah. Okay.
By,
Thanks
by,
for the bread.
no worries. By the way, I've enriched the land around here, so you should get more like nice seaweed around here to eat.
I don't know what that means. And he just kind of.
Answer. Ask them about the mermaid.
Yeah, you know the mermaids, right? The fish people.
See if they even know what a mermaid is.
They're like they're like their bottoms are tasty fish and their tops are like nasty human.
Yeah, I think we've seen some of those around before, right, guy? Yeah. Like the other two that are behind this like bigger one are just kind of going, yeah, and they're kind of just nodding while he seems to be getting like the majority of the bread, and he's like tossing them a couple of pieces. He's like the boss of these two little seagulls. Yeah.
Uh, you seem to be in charge around here. What's your name, sir?
I don't really have a name. People call me Big Beak.
Big Beak? Okay.
Yeah, Big Beak.
Oh. Alright, Big Beak.
You notice his beak is not really that much noticeably larger than the other two.
When you see the fish people again, just tell them Dancer of Wiffalo helped them out and enriched the land.
I think that's too
I'll
much
tell them that.
information.
I don't think they can talk to us, but I will
Well, we can try. We can try.
noises at them and ask them for food a lot. Promise. I'll talk to them. Yeah, as for the we don't really go in the forest though, so thanks for the bread though. And they kind of make that annoying seagull noise, and then they start flying with the bread.
Well, see ya. Well, fuck it.
What they say?
Yeah, they're fucking seagulls. They don't know.
The fucking seagull.
Yeah, they're the fat one over there. That's Big Beak.
Maybe
But
we
yeah,
can go to the forest and ask some.
They
So-
said it's
so
in the plains.
Keep in mind that you were talking to these seagulls in like the open, and you see this like these like two. They look like housewives walk by, and they're kind of whispering to each other as they walk beside you. Like they're kind of looking at you like freakishly, and then
Oh,
the
as if the fucking 10 butterflies around with the weird odor and the elven like stature and the burned out mark on my forehead didn't give it away that I'm weird.
and then you see you feel this poke on your back, Dancer, and the rest of you kind of saw him coming. It's old man Nantucket. Yeah, I see you talking to the birds.
Yeah, can talk to all.
I got a joke for you.
All right.
He's like trying really hard to contain his laughter. He's like, so, what do you call? All right, like listen. What do you call? All right, a seagull that flies over the bay.
I don't know. Tell me.
A bagel. And he starts laughing, and he slaps his knee.
Oh well, I've got one for you too. All right.
Okay.
A horse goes into a tavern. Then the tavern keeper looks around and just tells him, "Hey, why the long face?"
Who would a horse go in a tavern? That makes no sense.
All right. Yeah, I guess I just go back to the tavern, buy another bread for 2 copper, and then try my luck with the good birds that don't suck.
Okay, Tucker. You know why
The ones that don't suck.
You know why the clam doesn't do charity?
All right, they said they headed into the plains to look for pill bugs. We should head in that direction.
Yeah, let's go near it. Let's go near the forest area. I mean, maybe
Wait,
those
wait.
birds will know.
I need to ask Tucker.
I don't know.
Tucker,
I
do
don't
you
know, ma'am.
why?
Why?
Why
You're
the
talking to
clan
Tucker, or are you talking to Nantucket? Are you talking to the old man or the halfling?
I'm talking to the one who just did the try to make the joke. Is that
Okay,
Tucker
yeah, that's
or
Nantucket.
Tuckman?
That's the old man. His name's Old Man Nantucket. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't
so-
know why.
Because they're shellfish. Get it? Get it?
I'll make an intelligence check. Oh, well, we'll see if he gets it. Yeah, that's not horrible. I think that's funny. I think that's funny. You want to see some more of my tattoos? And he starts to lift up his shirt to show you guys his tattoos. And at that point, you guys just kind of walk away from him.
We did see them last time.
Uh,
Yeah, we did.
they're
see them.
great.
Yeah, I just get another bread, and then we'll go to the forest area, and I'll talk to the forest birds.
Okay. Yeah, there are some trees like here and there, or not trees. I'm sorry, mushrooms in the grasslands. And there are some birds. You see things flying overhead, which you can't really talk to because they're flying overhead. But I guess just make an investigation check to like look for birds and like find them.
Passive investigation of.
If you want to spend a long time doing it, you can use your passive investigation.
I mean,
They'll be back by the time you figure out.
that's true. Let's just do a normal investigation. 10.
You find you find what looks to be a single bird. It looks like a hummingbird. It's a little far away from you. It's kind of going from like these like flowers that are these random wildflowers that are growing in these grassy fields.
Hey, sir, over there. Excuse me. Could you come over here for a second? I have some bread for you if you want it.
Why your hey sir, everyone? How do
It
you
says
know it's not a lady?
I'm not really interested in bread. I only eat nectar. He said I'm not really interested in bread. I only eat nectar.
I get it.
Luckily, we didn't hear of the noise.
But if you can do me a favor, I'll talk.
Sure. What favor do you want?
I want you to go and collect some flowers.
All right, I think I can do that. Is there like just a few flowers somewhere near me?
Yeah, there's lots of flowers around. You can go and pick them up and stuff.
Yeah, I'll collect a few flowers. Could you guys help me collect flowers for your gentleman over
Sure.
All right, you guys spend about 10 minutes all together, and you guys get like a nice large pile of flowers.
Can while they're picking flowers, can I like try to look around and see if I can like see like tracks or anything for where they might have gone, or start like looking for them that way instead of picking flowers?
Make a I don't know if it would be.
You are
I guess
supposed to
you
be
can use
the picking lady.
you can use perception, investigation, or survival. I think either of them will work. Any of them. 16 tracks for like where they went. You do find some clumps of this like long golden grass that seem to be stepped in, and it's kind of created like a little bit of like a foot trail. Kind of just like all about the place. You see them here and there. Some other things you find what look to be some snake holes. You find burrows and things of that sort. Not really something you're looking for, but just to keep you informed in the area. Some foot traffic. Some of the smaller patches.
All right, I will keep that in mind until Dancer has his fun.
Okay. But yeah, the rest of you collect a small little batch of flowers. I mean, it's quite a lot for a hummingbird. You kind of bring it to it. It's still kind of like fluttering about really fast. Thank you, thank you. That'll feed me for a long time. How can I help you?
Uh, could you help us find two people? We are looking for an elven woman and a human man to there together. Walking from this forest.
Let me think about it. I remember seeing some couple of people come by. They were chasing some bugs.
All right, thank you. Where did they go?
He can't really point, but he kind of flies in a general direction. Oh, over here.
All right, thank you. And what's your name, sir?
I name. He kind of asks like a questionable.
Yeah, from now on, your name is Speedy. Okay. If anyone asks you, your name is Speedy.
Okay. And he
All
kind
right,
of just.
thank you, Speedy. See ya.
Dancer,
You're
give him
welcome.
this. Fee gonna
He,
give Dancer a small flower crown.
Oh, thank you. I'll put on the flower crown. They went into this direction. Speedy told me.
Speedy is he's kind of like drinking like a lot of like the flowers that you guys gave to him, all the nectar. Yeah. So
Is it the similar direction from the tracks I saw?
it's similar. Yeah. It's a
Okay,
similar
I was
direction.
I'm gonna tell him. That's interesting. I also found some tracks heading in that direction.
However, there are
Oh.
also tracks going in a direction that isn't there, but it looks like it's more. It doesn't. They don't look like people traveling than like just two in
That's
the
good.
other
So
direction.
we have an even more precise direction now. Let's follow those tracks. Then they should be going around that way.
You seem to be stuttering a bit. Are you okay?
Yeah, I think.
He rubbed off on you.
Yeah, Speedy did definitely rub off of me. Fuck.
Alright.
Okay, let's go.
So you guys begin walking towards this kind of small outcropping of like a mushroom forest. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not small in the sense of like height. I mean, these are humongous mushrooms, but I mean, you guys kind of start walking that general direction, and you following the tracks. It starts to get less from like packed grasses to where like you can see like the footfalls to where you're starting to look at footprints and dirt. These are pretty fresh tracks. Reginald would know, but they seem to be going like in between each of the trees, and you can notice that there are like some of these pill bugs that are just kind of attached to these trees, almost kind of like how like a tick like attaches itself like an animal. That's kind of like how they're attached to these mushrooms. And there seems to be burn marks around some of the mushrooms, and there seems to be holes that have been bored into some of them. Notice like if you look inside some of these holes, there seems to be like some eggs, but there's not like very many of them left.
Yeah, I think they've been hunting through this area.
You know what? I'll take one of those eggs. Do they look fertilized?
Fertilized.
It's an insect egg, so you assume it's fertilized. Like insects don't really lay eggs that aren't
All right. I'll keep it warm somewhere and wait till it hatches.
All right. Yeah, you can take. They are very fragile.
All right, I'll take good care of it. And now, you know what? I'll give it to Glitter. She has like a little bag on her too, so she can just put it in there.
It kind of takes up all the space in her small sprite-sized bag, but I mean, yeah, it's
Okay.
It's a big egg.
I mean,
All
it's
right.
not big.
Well, let's keep looking. They're probably around here. If they're not hunting pill bugs, they're probably snot.
everyone make perception checks. Ooh.
No.
Well, at least one of us can see.
Moon.
That's
Moon.
You guys know it says Vivian and Dancer, not Fee and Dancer's eyes just go black. They get blinded, and it's kind of it's sort of like revenge for when Fee blinded constantly that one guy that you guys had to fight. You know. Yep. But okay, so Reginald and Moonshadow.
Yeah.
You guys are able to kind of keep up with the tracks and kind of keep going because I mean there's like a lot of tracks just going in and out like around these trees, these mushrooms. You find what looks to be a bow just sitting on the ground out in the open.
Boat?
A bow. It looks like the bow that Clarence uses. Used.
go
He had
pick
that
it
on
up.
his back. There's nothing really else around the bow. It's just kind of the bow itself. It has some dirt on it.
I will
Reggie,
pick it up.
you think you've been
kind of-
ambushed or something like that?
And you kind of like look around, and you two kind of look at these footprints, and you notice that they kind of get like the pace gets picked up. Like it looks like they started running because you can see that the footprints kind of get more distant because you can see that their legs are going farther, and it looks like it's also like a little bit more. The footprints like a little bit more wild, where like the pattern is kind of like all over the place. It looks like they were running in like all sorts of directions. It would seem you can kind of pick up
Okay, so what happened
with
here?
with Moonshadow's perception check. Notice that there are there's like a lot of fuzz on the ground. It's like yellow fuzz, kind of just like littering. It's not like a ton, but like you make it out. Patches of what look to be maybe fur. It's very soft, kind of fuzzy. That's yellow.
Something did happen here. I don't think bugs have fur, do they, Reggie?
Some bugs have fur, like bees can be furry. Like why? Why do you?
Let me look at that hair. Maybe I know where they're from. 23 nature check.
Some kind of, you think it's some kind of bee or wasp or hornet, yellow jacket,
Alright.
something like that.
So it seems to be hair from some kind of bee or hornet or wasp or something.
I mean, like, it's like a big clump of hair for like a bee. So I mean, like, this is like a big insect.
A giant bee, maybe like the dragonflies we fought before, but like a bee or wasp.
Great. So they were out here hunting pill bugs, and they disturbed some giant bee's nest and ran off.
Maybe.
I guess we better check. I guess we better find them, make sure they're okay.
Let's continue follow the trail.
All right. Let's keep pushing forward.
Continue along the trail, and you eventually come across you kind of see off like sort of like next to one of these mushroom trees, you see the unconscious body of Belle, the wizardess, sorceress, whatever you would like to call her. And upon closer inspection, she seems to be breathing. She has like a lot of hives on her skin.
Like a bee thing?
I mean, something like that. I mean, she has like all these like hives on her skin. Looks like some sort of like allergic reaction almost, or like something like a poison.
Are you right?
She's unconscious.
Why
Oh,
you're asking if she's alright?
I would like to cast Cure Wounds on her. I don't know if it'll do any good, but I'm gonna cast it.
Okay, roll Cure Wounds. You kind of put your hand like kind of like start like touching where like all the hives are, and like whenever you cast Cure Wounds, it's almost as if like the oils of your skin turn into this like ointment, and you're kind of like rubbing it on the hives in this particular case. and they kind of begin to like soothe and calm down, and you hear and she kind of looks around. She doesn't like sit up immediately, but she kind of looks around. Who are you're the adventurers from the other day.
Yes, we are. What? Why are you alone? What happened?
Where's Clarence? Where
He's nowhere
Around.
around.
I don't know. It seems like he did.
Can I look around, see if I see any other bodies laying around?
make a perception check or survival. One of those three.
See.
You said you're looking for tracks or like
No, look, see if I could see any other bodies laying around.
other bodies. Okay. No, there don't seem to be any other bodies around here. I mean, you can see pill bugs and the mushrooms and stuff, but no like humanoid.
Oh,
Clarence
what
isn't
happened
here.
Yeah,
Clarence would never
You,
ditch me. He's not that.
he must have went off further.
Yeah, it looks like he ditched you.
I'm not so sure. And I'm showing her the bow we found. And that's his bow, right?
That's 100% his bow. If you look right here, and she points at these little notches, these like little scratches that are in the bow. He marks down one of these every time he.
What?
He kills people. I get it. So, do you think we should look for him, or should we get you out of here first? You seem.
We should look for him. There's no way we can just leave without him. You mad?
You're pretty weak. I mean, I got you awake, but that's not gonna get you too far.
I'm sure. I'm sure I'll be fine.
I mean, if technically, we could split up, and Reggie, you could take her back to town, maybe get that thing translated, and we're gonna do a little search party for the other dude.
I'm not splitting up with you guys.
I mean, you should be alright. I mean,
I don't think it's a good idea to split up.
I'm not worried about me, Dancer. I'm worried about you and Moon and Fee.
Well, I appreciate that.
Okay, let's keep up and let's go looking. Time might be of an essence here.
Okay.
All right, Moon. How about you take point? I'll take the rear and watch over.
Okay.
Alrighty. Perception checks again.
Okay, again.
Good general kind of. You guys are in a strategic formation.
Do we get advantage? Because we are helping each other and looking?
You guys are all making individual. If someone
Okay.
wants to help you instead of making their own, they can. But no, you guys are all making individual checks.
Okay.
I made my check before I realized we could do that. That's all right.
Okay. You,
That's really a good
oh,
one.
okay, yeah. So 7, 11, 10, 20, 10, okay. 7, 11, 10, 10. Yeah, I'll to pick anything up. If you guys want to spend longer, you can use your we can use your passives.
Yes, in that case,
We might as well at this point.
My thing finally gets useful. I have a passive perception of 18.
You notice it's very,
Why
very
take
faint,
prices
but there is a
Winston?
very small trail of what looks to be blood mixed in with the dirt around here, and it looks like some of the dirt has started to get muddy. It looks like maybe he sort of water source that he might have jumped into, of some sort. You're not entirely sure.
Right. Are there any bees around still?
Passive perception.
You don't hear anything or see anything.
Alright, guys, I think he might have jumped into that water here. Is it like a lake or is it like a pond or?
You don't see it in the immediate vicinity, but you feel like it's somewhere close by.
All right.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's some kind of lake or pond somewhere, and I guess
You see, so basically, you see that the blood trail. I mean, the blood trail is kind of heading in a westward direction. So if you were to be looking for the, um, probably be east.
All right.
I think he what he's saying is that he jumped into the water and then he climbed out of the water and went in a different direction.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So I guess we'll just follow his muddy footsteps.
If you can find the mod steps, well, how big was the creature that attacked you?
I mean, there was one really big one, and then there were a bunch of kind of medium-sized ones, I guess, and off in one direction. He ran off in another. He was shooting some of the pill bugs in the trees and disturbed a nest or something, but there were a lot of them, and I got stung some, but they left me alone after I fell on the ground after a while. I've lost consciousness, and I don't know where he went exactly.
Is there a possibility that they could actually carry him out of here? Hey,
Big one, definitely, and if like multiples of like the medium ones, like.
how
All
are
right,
you?
let's keep following the trail, and we'll see what we get when we get further.
We are supposed to meet with this party and then two members went
Hey, well, which
missing.
way do you guys want to go? Do you want to go like east or west?
Well, he went east, right?
No, he went west. You said
really
the
sleepy.
trail went west.
Pond
Alright.
is east. He
Oh, yeah.
probably went west.
In that case, we should go west, right?
So you guys want to check out the pond, but that's up to you.
Nah, just a pond.
It's a pond.
So yeah, you
How
guys
big is
start
the
heading.
pond?
You'd have to go look at it. You have to go there.
Look, we could check out the pond some other time. We got to find this guy before, if he got stung up as bad as her, he could be seriously injured. We got to find him.
Exactly. We'll have enough time on our way back.
No, it's more like he might be carried out of here, so we might not find any more tracks on the ground. What's the chance?
Well, if he disturbed their nest, they would just go back to their nest when they were done.
And do you know where their nest is?
Probably near where his bow was.
Okay.
Belle speaks up. I mean, I remember the mushroom that we were kind of near. I don't know which. I can't remember exactly which specific one it was, but I mean, I know the general, like which ones we should be looking for. I mean, it was a rather big one. I don't know where they came from though. They kind of just came out of nowhere.
Okay, then let's go look there.
I think that we should keep
the
following.
trail.
Yeah, we should keep on the trail.
Okay,
Otherwise,
let's
we
go.
would just go back.
Oh gosh.
Giving the
let's go.
guy first.
Let's go follow the trail.
You guys keep following the blood trail, and while it does get fainter, I mean, you're able to kind of keep up with it.
Following the blood
It's not
trail.
extremely hard.
It's not extremely entertaining either.
To make out, because it's kind of red against the dark brown exterior. You guys eventually come across a kind of muddied form. You can see him a distance, and around this muddied clump, British shape, you kind of hear this faint chattering, like, and you see what look to be two large ants.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I
two large
slapped
ants, and they
Benzer on the back. Now it's your turn to go talk to the animals.
seem to
I
be
think
using their
this is him.
antennae to kind of feel the ground around them, and kind of like also around the body.
I'm gonna
Does
ready
he-
my rifle.
Give me a second. I'll send in the invisible glitter spring, and I'll just let her check out if what they're munching on is indeed the guy, and if he's already dead.
Okay, make a
Invisible
make a
spray.
medicine check.
What kind of check?
A medicine check if you're trying to see if he's like okay.
I mean, I can just look through her eyes, so I can do my own medicine checks.
Okay.
Let's see. 19.
Seems to still be alive, albeit he doesn't really look like he's doing too well. The ants haven't like started like eating him or anything. They're kind of feeling around the area around his body with their antenna. They seem to be kind of like looking for it or something.
Oh,
It's
right.
kind of
Oh, guys.
I'm going to shoot one. Who's
give me a sec.
opposed?
Give me a second. I don't think they're necessarily eating him yet.
Not yet.
Let me try talking with them first, but we should definitely be on guard, alright? And I'll step out of the bushes and I'm like, hello, dear gentlemen.
He's gentlemen
I'm gonna step out, and
everyone.
as soon as you utter even the first syllable of your word, they kind of look over to you. And you getting a closer look, they seem to have this kind of green fluid dripping from their mandibles as it kind of pulls onto the ground beneath them, and they kind of twist their
Let me
head as you.
attack. I don't
As you,
think it might end in good.
As you talk to them. It's hard to really make out anything about like what they're doing, but they don't respond to you, and they
Well,
start
I
walking
do
in your
have
direction.
I do have 2 carrots and 3 potatoes, and a loaf of moldy bread. So I'm just gonna put them down, like a bit further away from his body, and tell them food, and point at it, and then look how they react.
Make an animal handling check with a disadvantage.
With
All
food.
right.
Okay.
Oh, come on,
Ooh,
can
bad
it be a
luck.
normal one? I mean, I can literally talk with them, and it's
Ah, you said disadvantage before you rolled.
Charge.
What about
They start running at
disadvantage?
you.
Well, I'm definitely shooting when I
Rolling
see that.
initiative. All right.
Okay.
Action to shoot. I know.
good damn it.
If you want to a blank black map, I want you to put your tokens on there so that we can just have your initiative go into that.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna put your tokens in the top left corner. I'm gonna put them down. So just wait 1 second.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. If you already put it on there, it's no big deal.
There's mine.
Put on some fighting music, some nice fighting music.
We're gonna kill
Let's go with
ants.
this one.
Giant ants.
God damn it, a net 20 and everything.
God no.
Oh,
Yeah.
righty, and now I have to roll for these big old ants. So I'm gonna be rolling.
How much are they?
Nice. They're about the size of a horse.
Oh.
Oh god. How many are they?
Two.
There are 2 that you can see. So that's a 4
It's
and a
hard being
10.
the social character.
Giant ant 1, giant ant 2, 4, and a 10. Ding. All right, so Reginald, go ahead and make your attack for the like initial your reaction, your held attack.
Okay.
You can do it. Shoot them.
27, that definitely hits, piercing into its carapace. 8, okay. That's your first attack. That's one of your shots. It's your turn. You got one more.
I will shoot it
Shot
again.
left. All right.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna apply a hunter's mark to it.
Hunter's mark, okay. To the one that
And
you
then
already
I'll shoot
injured.
it again. Yeah, and then I'll shoot it again.
Okay.
Now he remembers about Hunter's Mark.
Let me just keeping track of HP real quick. All right, so we'll go ahead and roll for your second attack. 21, that also hits. Ready? So that's a total of 13.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, take some damage, and you can use your second attack to, because I remember we went over it last time, and I was cool with you. You can exchange your attacks to reload one of your bullets for each
If
attack.
you're cool with it, then I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. It's in Matt Mercer's gunslinger thing, so I mean, why not? All right, so yeah, you can reload one bullet.
Didn't you just shoot twice?
One was a reaction, and then it started my turn.
Okay.
What's up is Moonshadow. They're about 40-ish feet away from you. They're closing in on Dancer, who's about 20 feet away from them at the moment. Pretty fast.
Okay, then I will lift my bow and I'll shoot the one that's closing in.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll. 21 hits.
Can I do sneak attack?
Sneak attack? No, because there's no ally near them.
Okay.
Advantage with your DM inspiration.
I'm just shooting at them,
Okay.
that's getting closer.
Okay. It hits. It does take a little bit of damage. Is that your turn? Do you want to move at all?
I want to move, like, if the answer coming towards me, I want to veer to the left or the right. I want to move in a way that will avoid direct confrontation.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of move off. You kind of move off in a sort of flanking direction to kind of move out of their direct path. Next up is Dancer. They're about 20 feet away from you, and they're closing in quick.
Yeah, I'll try to cast Sleep on both of them as a third level spell. So that's 98. So for 28 HP.
Think you have third level spell. You might. I don't remember what Warlock
Yeah,
has.
I do have third level spells. Yeah. All of my spells count as third level.
28. Neither of them fall asleep.
Mouse drawing.
Doesn't seem to affect them.
Damn. So they have. So.
I basically want to go around the ant
Yes,
towards the body.
they're too healthy.
Well, in that case, I'll use my move action to just go, like, run away, like,
Yeah.
as far away from them.
You move 30 feet backwards. Okay. Alright, next
Tactical
up
maneuvering.
is the first, or I guess technically the second, because that's what I have written down right here. The second giant ant. Use the dash action to close in on you, Dancer. It gets right up next to you. Taking a dash action, it can do a little trample tramp. So I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as it tries to trample over you with its
Here
movement.
is Dancer.
Great. Nice. 18.
18, that's good. Yeah, you're able to avoid it and you take no damage. The other one, it's not that one's turn yet, but basically it's flanking you right now. It's on the other side of you. Next up is
Shut
Fee.
up.
There's one ant that's engaged
Dancer.
with Dancer at the moment.
Is there a tree near there?
There are plenty of mushrooms for you to... Yeah, there's plenty.
Fee gonna hide behind a mushroom tree first, and then pull out her
Okay.
and then shoot at them. Shoot
Okay,
at
make an
the
attack
one
roll.
nearest to Dancer.
Okay, make an attack roll. 25, that hits. Roll your damage. 7, that's pretty good. It pierces
Enjoying
into
it.
its carapace and it's kind of just sticking out a little bit. Other big old ant, it's going to also charge towards you, Dancer. I need you to make another dexterity saving throw as it tries to trample over you. I'm
16.
going to use as a dash action. 16, you avoid it once again, kind of dodging out of the way. You're kind of like nimbly, kind of trying to duck out of the way of these like large ants that are trying to run you over. They're both sort of flanking you at the moment. Up is Reginald again.
Well, I'm fully
We're
reloaded and ready to go, so
looking
I'm gonna shoot at the one that I've already injured.
Clarence.
Okay. Is the hunter's mark?
Yeah, Hunter's Mark, the one that I've hunted marked,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, make your attack roll. 17, that hits.
I put
That's a total
some
of 16.
shrooms and bodies and ants on the map for you guys.
And then I'm
Okay.
going to fire again. Does Hunter's Mark apply for every attack or just the first attack?
Free attack.
Every attack?
Every single one. Colossus Slayer doesn't, but Hunter's Mark does.
Alright, just, I had to double check that. It's been a while since I've been in combat.
Okay. A natural one, your gun jams.
Well, it doesn't because I still haven't jammed since that guy gave me the thing that says next time it would jam, it won't.
Oh yeah, you're right. It does not jam, but it does. The attack roll does miss. So.
I'm going to...
And you feel like it's gonna jam, but then you kind of chink it and it goes back into place, and the
Alright, I'm
bullet
going
just
to
flies
use
off.
my movement to back up 30 feet, or get away from
We are
them
making a
30
map.
feet.
Okay, yeah, you back up. Perfectly okay. Up is Moon Shadow. They're both engaged with Dancer at the moment.
Yeah, I'm trying to go up to Clarence to retrieve him. That's why I was drawing on the map,
Okay.
like me doing strategical maneuver around and towards the body.
Yeah, they're a little ways away from. They're far away from Clarence's body at this point. So I mean, you can get to Clarence's body, especially if you use your bonus action, the dash. You can get to it in just one quick.
You said bonus action, so I will shoot one of them as my action and use the movement and bonus action to get to him.
Okay, make your attack roll. 21, that hits. Which one are you attacking? There's one of them that looks significantly more beat up than the other. That's the one that Reggie's been attacking. So, you attacking that one or the other one?
I don't know. Is that one close to Dancer, like in melee range?
Yeah, one of them has been getting attacked by Reginald, so that's the one that's more damaged.
I was wondering if I can spring my sneak attack.
You get sneak attack because they're engaged with Dancer.
Okay, if they're engaged, I shoot the one that's more hurt.
Okay.
9
9+, roll your sneak attack.
I think it's not one, it's more. I
You
forgot.
can roll your.
Yeah, I think it's more than one. It's either 2 or 3 d6.
It's definitely more than one. I think it's
At
try
level
to check
5.
for you real quick. Yes, you are. You guys are level 5, rogue.
It's either 2 or 3.
I think it's either 3d6 or 4. It's 3d6. Ugh. Alright, that's a total of 20 damage. That's definitely a very large hit. It's not looking too healthy and does not like that at all.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
you're gonna use your bonus action to dash up to
Yeah,
Clarence's body.
move and dash.
All right, well you do that. All right, Dancer, it's your turn.
Yeah,
The two ants are engaged with you.
Oh, shoot, I had
will
my
attack
sneak
the
attack.
one that's already damaged with an Eldritch Blast.
Let's see.
Okay.
Where is the
You
sneak
do have
attack?
disadvantage because you're within melee range with it. An 8 does miss.
Yeah, 3d6.
And then I will
Silly me. I will have it in red.
Misty Step myself 30 feet away and then use my move action to move another 30 feet away from
Actually, hold on one second. Since you're level 5, your Eldritch Blast should have 2. Yes,
Yeah.
so make another attack roll when you use your Eldritch Blast.
Oh yeah, you're right. I attacked twice, that's true.
Still has disadvantage, but I mean, you know.
Yeah. Oh,
21 hits though, or 18 hits, so you might kill it. 4,
Four
not
first.
quite enough, but it's not liking
Almost,
it.
almost.
Not liking it at all.
alright. Like I said, I'm gonna poof out with my Misty Step and then walk 30 feet away from
Okay. Next up is the one that isn't really all that hurt. This one, kind of looking around, it doesn't really see any very viable targets. It sees Moon Shadow approaching the body, but it doesn't really seem interested. It's going to start burrowing into the ground, which it does so quite quickly. It burrows into the ground. That one's gone.
I'm gonna keep attacking the other one.
Okay.
Which one is the
Sorry.
one? The damaged one or the healthy one?
The healthy one fled. Burrowed
Ah.
away.
Far
That's
am I
hard.
from the giant ant number 1.
But you're close enough to shoot it with the longbow.
Okay, I'm gonna use Dissonant Whisper.
Okay. Wisdom save. I don't think they're good at that, so let's see. It got a 14.
Got half
Are you
damage.
sure? Wait, are you sure your DC is 11? Or is that from an
14.
item? Okay.
14? I don't know why it said no.
Either. Let me check that real quick for you.
It should be 8 plus your modifier, which should be 3, so that is more. Plus your spellcasting
Okay,
modifier.
It should be fixed now.
Yep, it is.
Okay, but they got a
Oh.
14, so it takes half damage, which is half of 11 is gonna be, I believe, it's gonna be 5.
Okay.
It's dead. It dies on the spot. You want its head. You kind of whisper this soft sort of incomprehensible chanting to it. It seems to its antenna perk up, and then its head starts shaking violently. It just explodes in a gooey mess of green and like flesh, like green, and just goes all over the place. That one's
Holy
dead. Yeah, that's gone. That's the end of combat, though. The other one burrows very far under the earth and just kind of.
I'm gonna
I
immediately
think we should be
reload.
Yeah, I'm closest to Clarence, so how is he? Is he alive?
He barely, barely alive. He looks
he's gonna
very beat
run.
up. He has way more hives.
Wounds.
I will
do
try
have,
to drag him towards us.
I do have a healer's kit. I could stabilize him. Oh, never mind. We have someone who can.
8. Okay, he heals up 8 points. You kind of touch his muddied form. You get mud all over your hands, and you kind of and you see blood get coughed up onto the ground as well. It's like a mixture of blood, mud, dirt, and just grossness. He's kind of like wiping mud off of his face, and he's kind of like scrambling around. He's panicking. Definitely, he's freaking out. Like, how do you guys like? He's.
I yelled at
Panicking.
Belle. Belle, come here.
Yes. Clarence, and he's like, Belle is
Bell's alright.
It's not time for
she's like,
reunion yet. We
I
should get
can't.
away from here as soon
I
as
know.
possible.
And she starts waving her hand, and she casts prestidigitation to start cleaning up his face. That's the worst feeling I've had in a long time.
Let's get you out of here, guys.
I recommend we get back to town as quickly as possible.
Agreed.
Yep. Let's go.
So Belle kind of does like a human crutch. It does take you guys a little longer to get there because you do have two that are decently injured, but it's not that bad.
We don't run
Back to
into a
shelf. Let
swarm
me
of
turn
bees,
off
do we?
the battle music. Yeah, you guys don't run into a huge swarm of wasp.
Oh, my character is actually decent strength.
They seem to have just chased
For
them
a-
away from their hive and then
for a
just go
thief.
back and mind their own business.
The
Let
combat was
me
too short.
change the music real quick. Oh, I see. There we go.
Okay.
So you guys eventually make it back to Shelltown with two rather worse for wear comrades in tow.
Yeah.
I assume you're going to the tavern.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're going to town.
Mhm.
Their party should
Hey.
know what happened.
Turner kind of like looks at you guys as you come through the door. Oh my God, you look you look bad. That's happened to you. Kind of looking at the two of them.
Isn't it obvious? They
They
almost
bit off
got
a little more
eaten.
than they could chew.
Did the pill bugs do that to you? That's fucking crazy. I didn't.
Pill
What's he
bugs are
doing?
harmless. It was bees or wasps or something. Not to mention the ants almost got Clarence.
Wow, that's
Yeah, Clarence almost got eaten.
looked for. God, wow. I thought you guys would be okay. And you kind of look at his face, and he has like a really his like cheek is swollen from the punch he took earlier. I didn't. It's fine, Turner. It's fine. We're worried about Clarence here.
You're lucky that we were here.
No,
They might have
you're lucky
let
that
out
we
in the
decided
field
to
somewhere.
go after you.
Yeah, it's a good thing that Hummingbird told me about it, where you guys were.
Yeah, I'm sure
Otherwise,
there's no way we could have found him without that.
Yeah,
Oh my
Speedy
God.
is a good guy.
Oh, I feel horrible. Ever seen Turner, who's kind of he comes off to you as a scumbag. It's the first time he seems like he's actually remorseful about something he said. Sorry, guys. I don't. We wouldn't be the same without you. Don't think that we just forgot about you. I mean, we were worried after you guys didn't come back, but
Well,
But
they
you
thought,
didn't do anything.
well, he thought they were fucking or something.
I mean, we knew that you all had gone. I mean, you guys left early. They were supposed to come back in like 2 hours. You guys went ahead and went, so we thought that maybe you guys are talking to him or something.
Well, they're here now. Speaking of which, you got a room in this tavern or someplace private we could?
We don't have rooms in this tavern. We just hang out here a lot. We usually sleep in a camp outside. Oh, talk there. I mean, we can.
I would prefer not to discuss our meal ticket, in the middle of a tavern.
I would prefer
well,
if you go there and sleep it off and rest and heal and stuff.
I want to have a discussion with Belle before she has a night's rest.
Well, me too, but not in here.
It's okay. I mean, I'm relatively. I mean, I'm okay to talk.
Okay, but let's
We're
go
here.
to your camp.
Clarence, on the other hand, Clarence is asleep. But it's okay. Yeah, let's go to the camp. um, they all kind of like lead you towards their camp. Beerus is being carried by Glidna because he is completely drunk. He can't walk. Glidna's like holding this kind of this dwarf like over her shoulder, and you guys go back to what looks to be like a pretty ragtag encampment. They have like a little trench buried around in case it rains, and they have a tent. They have multiple tents actually. They have a large campfire in the middle of it, but it's been snuffed out. They have some cooking utensils sitting around.
The helping party.
Glidna, do you think maybe you could make something to eat? I'm quite famished. And Glidna's like, yeah, all right. Cooking, setting up the fire and stuff. I have the spell ready to read.
Okay.
If you just wanna.
I am getting out the letter and I am giving it to her. I'm like, please translate for us.
Thing.
Okay, time to put some notes down.
She kind of gives it like a quick glance over. She takes about maybe 2 minutes reading it. It's not a very long letter. When it comes to the translation, the language itself like makes it a lot longer than the words actually are. It says something about yada yada. Yeah, I'll just read it to you word for word. With Moro Call as soon as possible. The waters are ripe for pillaging. The Seafarers Guild will be sending out a small band of ships to transport goods to the capital. Intercept them. We will send some others to assist you as well. If you back out, we will not forgive another occurrence of betrayal. I'm sure you remember what happened to the last fool who attempted to backstab us. Hopefully you get the picture, and then after this, the rest of it is kind of, it doesn't really have much to do. It's kind of incomprehensible. The orange seagulls fly to the rocky spire during the cresting moon. I hope the fresh coriander is serving you well. Pass along my compliments to the priest. Our alpha dog has been trimming his fur. He's grown up quite a lot. Condolences, Major Dormo S. And then I actually have a handout for you.
Oh, nice.
I just clicked show to all players, so there's that.
Yeah, it was too long to put it down in writing. Pillaging.
I get the gist of it is that they're intercept some merchant ships, I suppose. I mean, this right here, she kind of points to like the lower paragraph. It's just gibberish. I can't even comprehend what this means.
The last part should be a decipher message, and now we need to decipher this. Oh my god!
I mean, I could ask Big Beak if he knows anything about orange seagulls.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's code, man.
What's a code? Never heard of that.
It's like where you say things but mean other things, so that if somebody finds the letter, all of your plans aren't ruined at once.
So it makes sense if it's like a criminal type thing. I'm not skilled in that, and my spell, it only gives me the literal meaning of what I'm reading, so I can't decipher anything like that.
Oh.
Not really my forte either.
Hey, we should bring this to the investigator guy, Looker.
Yeah.
Some idea?
Yeah, we should get this information out somehow outside of town, because they're monitoring the mail in town. I don't know if you guys knew that, but they look at all the mail before it's sent out.
Well, we agreed
If-
to meet with Luker like on the usual spot, so he will be there tonight. We did agree
That
to
is
that.
true.
We did agree to that.
Tucker kind of he kind of goes over there. Or Turner, I'm sorry, Turner. Turner kind of walks over. I used to be able to decipher this type of shit back when I'm not gonna lie to you, I have a little bit of a sketchy past. This has been a really long time since I've type of stuff. Back in my thieves guild, we had like little codes and stuff that we would talk about, but I mean, I don't really understand it too well. I do know that usually we use spice names for like drugs. There could be some type of drug or something.
I have a game question. The incomprehensible and unrelated sentence, could it be written in Thieves' Camp?
Cut out at the end of your sentence.
I was asking if
She was asking if it was written in Thieves' Cant, the incomprehensible part.
It is some sort of thieves' cant.
Then can I read it if it's in Thieves' Camp?
It'll take a long time to decipher, but you can decipher
Yeah,
it.
I totally want to.
How many sentences are there? Let's see. I forgot how many sentences there were.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's gonna take about an hour to decipher them all completely.
I have time.
Yeah, that's good. I'll get a short rest that way. Get my spell slots back.
Spell slots? What's that? Just kidding. All right, so you guys, if we're gonna do something with this camp, it's not gonna happen today with the beating you took earlier. So I think we hold on to this information, meet our contact later tonight. Hopefully, we figure out what all this means, and maybe we try to reconvene tomorrow to figure out what we want to do.
Sounds good to me. But I still will attempt to translate these things. Belf would not.
I have to translate it I'm going to translate it in the letter. I'm going to put the stuff in bold and in brackets, and then you guys can read it once I'm done
Okay.
translating it. So I guess we can take a break here while I'm doing this.
Alright.
If you want to go get up and get something to drink or something like that, you can go do that. Putting the stuff down.
Yeah. Oh. Finally something to do with my roguish class besides shooting and killing. I'm not sure how long it's going to take, but I will be back just in a little bit. So we'll be doing I'm going to take like 1 hour in game to translate stuff. That actually Dungeon Master, I'm not sure if he talked about translating them, since we are having 2 rogues, one in my party and one in the opposite party. And I'll be back.
I have updated the little thingy, little letter.
Hooray!
Excuse me. So I'll go get more water then.
Let's see. I sent that. Let's see. Did I miss something? Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, the letter's been translated now.
Yeah, I did see it. I'm gonna read it now. Let's see what's new. The pirates with Scully will meet with you at midnight at the meetup location. They've come the drugs you promised. Distribute them to the highest bidder first. Our our god is ready? Huh? Huh? Any thoughts about this?
Gigi, update the letter so you can see it.
I did see it and I did read it.
Oh, okay. Gonna give the decipher letter to the investigator and then somehow disrupt all this meeting, stuff of them.
We might be too late if we meet with the investigator.
We could meet with them earlier than planned and say that we're asking for an update on
Fifi's lost pouch.
the missing gold purse, and then like you could give them a translation of the letter, and we
Yeah.
don't say out loud.
It's better to do that. We won't have time if we wait to meet with him.
Then we should get his location right away then.
Okay.
Of course, we don't know what day this is happening, though. I mean, for all we know, it could have already happened, or a week ago. Like, we don't know how long he's had this letter.
True, but he might have some insight over it.
I have a question though. Has the letter been opened up yet? Since if we took it before the leader has the chance to read it, then we might have. Maybe.
You're right. I'm not sure if it was opened yet or not.
We'll have to find out.
Let's ask Gigi when he came back.
I didn't think of them as a bunch of clerics, though. Weirdest sect of people ever.
Let's hope it was not open. So basically, they expect, but
Okay, I'm back.
Hi, back.
welcome back. Guys,
Everyone else is here?
Yep.
I think so. Guys, if they say they're going to send people to help them, could the party we teamed up with be this supposed help?
So could you repeat that? I didn't quite get that.
Oh gosh, I'm hating this. The letter says the other side is sending people to help. So I was wondering if the bunch of adventurers we teamed up with could be the supposed help.
I mean, I find it pretty unlikely since they were trying to raid them too, and one of them has one of their parents in there, and I'm pretty sure that she was speaking the truth when she said that her parents are a slave in there. So I don't think it has anything to do with the adventurers.
Also, they don't look much like pirates with scurvy.
Nope.
The letter is updated if you don't know already. There's bold in brackets.
Yes.
Have we seen them? Also, who's this pirate with scurvy?
I have no idea, but we do know that they seem to be the weirdest kind of clerics we've ever seen.
Another question, was the envelope opened? Like, if there was a seal, was the seal broken or anything?
Yes, the seal is broken.
Oh, okay.
Can I do a religion check to see what kind of god is related to drugs, piracy, or crime in general?
Drugs, piracy,
yeah.
what god is related to drugs and piracy?
21.
Good one.
It's there aren't really any gods that are related to like crime, related to trickery, but crime, no.
Probably trickery and mischief.
Loki.
There are
The
evil
North?
gods of trickery, but there's not like dedicated crime god. Like crime was a concept created by the humanoids to create crime.
So, would I know what the symbol of that evil, mischievous god looks like?
I mean, there are multiple evil trickery gods, and I mean, the way that the letter is worded, I mean, it's just so vague.
It is too vague.
Oh. Not really very specific at all. I mean, the pirates with scurvy will meet with you at midnight at the meetup location. They've got the drugs we promised. Distribute them to the highest bidder first. Our god is ready.
Yeah, that's really a problem since we have no idea where the meetup location is. And we don't know who the highest bidder is, and we don't know who that god is. Nor do we know who Major Domo S is, so...
Right.
So we were thinking going
Go ahead.
the
I
gated
haven't
guy.
seen. See, do you remember the map you both had this cave and other attraction locations on? I think it might be one of these places they're meeting up.
I mean, we could go to this Morocco guy. He might be the only lead we have. Technically, we could also go to the guards, show them the translated letter, and just hope that they would do something.
I would not give it to the guards. They're in this.
I mean, not give it to them, but like give them a copy because they are writing something about intercepting some kind of transport to the capital, and I don't think they want any of that to happen. Like I don't think they care about this small shitty town, but the moment there's gonna be a raid on some transport ship to the capital, I think they're gonna wanna have a say in this.
Maybe we should take it to Looker first and get his input, see how he thinks the guard would react.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
And sure, make a copy of this.
Okay. Would you guys like to meet up time?
I'm not giving the original to anybody, I'm just putting it back into my backpack and hiding it inside my things after I make a copy of it for Looker.
Actually, let me see if I don't think comprehend languages tells you what language you're reading, but when you understand the literal meaning, you understand. Yeah, so doesn't know what language it was originally in. I believe I had told you all before that
The language none of us
it's primordial, and I said
Yeah,
that
I
it was somewhat related to that. Like you can pick out some words, but you don't really understand it completely.
Yeah, that's why we had Bale translated.
Bill's like, well, that's certainly interesting. Seems to be a much bigger scheme at large here.
Totally. Bale, would you help me make a copy of this? Well, might not be the non-translated version, but maybe the translated version, just to be faster.
Yeah, I can do that. I have paper and things, so I'd be more than happy to write a quick version down for you.
Sure.
You want it in common?
Yeah, it's gonna be best, I think.
I mean, if we wanted to like keep it secure, I mean, I could translate it to Sylvan. No, like almost no one speaks Sylvan.
Well, we want people to understand it, though.
Well,
We
yeah.
will we will give the copy
mean,
to Looker.
oh yeah, that's true.
That's why
Okay.
I need a copy. I'm not giving him the original letter.
She spends a few minutes translating it to common, and then she lets you write down the secret message part of it because she can't understand that.
Yeah.
You have a copy of it in common.
Okay, let's go and see what Looker can say about it. Well, actually, he can't say anything, but maybe he can make two suggestions.
Okay, so we're gonna go see if Looker's at the guard outpost, and we're gonna say that we're there for an update on Fee's gold, and we're gonna, slide him the copy and maybe write down that we intercepted the letter and this was what it translated to.
Sure, let's do that.
Okay, let's go.
You guys walk to the headquarters of the guard. Old man Nantucket sitting on the porch. You guys say, "Hey, how you doing?" And you guys kind of walk past him, trying not to get caught up in his antics again. Sitting there. You're looking for a again?
Yeah, we're looking for
Yeah.
Looker.
Yeah, I have some update on my gold pouch and I want to see him right away.
Hey, you can go upstairs if you want. Go ahead and send you up.
Thank you.
Room is right. You were here before.
Yes, thank you.
Right.
Righty. He's just in his office. You can go see him. You guys walk up the stairs. You're outside of his room. As you're outside of his room, you hear him talking to someone on the other side.
I will pause and
It's
listen.
kind of just casual conversation, like updates about things going on in Shelltown, sort. And eventually, the voice that isn't Looker's. I want you to understand. Make sure that you keep the whole thing under wraps. You hear me? Like, if something were to be found out and I had to demote you. I get it, old man. Go on. Door. Standing out there. Oh, well, it looks like you got some visitors, Looker. Gives him like a quick little side-lancing glare. Walk into Looker's room. How are y'all doing?
Can I inside check the guy? Do we meet up as he's exiting?
What do you want to insight check him for?
I want to see if he's trying to manipulate Looker or whether Looker is working on the bandit side.
Shot a glare at Looker. That's kind of out of the scope of insight.
Yeah, okay.
Not sure, but I mean, he does seem to be trying to get Looker to keep something under wraps, from what he said.
Yeah, I'm getting suspicious about it. My character is so suspicious.
I hope you guys have anything.
Yes, we had an update on the gold pouch that went missing. Fee, why don't you tell them about it?
So
Oh,
the
you guys have an
gold
update.
pouch, the gold pouch has a silver chain and also the flowery patterns on it. Fee gonna tell Moon to give him the translation.
I'll take it out and I slide it silently towards him.
Okay.
There, we made some sketches of the flowers and the silvery thing. See if it's helping you.
Oh yeah, it's really nice. Praise. You guys are kind of just having this whole conversation about this imaginary coin purse, and
With
he's like, "Oh yeah, I
imaginary
understand." And
flowers.
reading the letter that you hand over to him, his face kind of goes a little bit, I guess you could say. He just, yeah, the coin purse. Well, if you just kind of do some paperwork, he doesn't actually slide you any paperwork, and just kind of just update the current information on that. I mean, I'll make sure to keep an eye out. I can't really guarantee we'll find it, but we'll look for it. And, do you have any leads on who, any investigative, like, things I can do for you? And you see he kind of points down to a sheet of paper he wrote down, like, looking at you, Fee, specifically.
What?
Wrote down on a sheet of paper to say yes.
Oh, so I just have to write him the letter and say yes?
However you interpret it. He wrote on this piece of paper to say yes, like, you expectantly.
You're gonna point back to Moon. Oh, totally. Let me sign the paper and update on the gold pouch.
I hope
Okay.
these drawings of mine helped you with it.
Oh, do you think you know someone who might be a culprit? And he's pointing at the words "say yes." Like, do you have an idea of who it might be, or?
I put my finger under the midnight at the meetup location.
So
and I draw like a
Like,
question mark.
I pointed the word yes on the paper, and then I pointed Fee, and then I pointed the word yes on the paper, and then I pointed Fee again.
Fee gonna make a dumb face because she doesn't know what you guys are talking about.
Okay, I get really close to Fee, like uncomfortably close, right in her ear, and I just say, and I whisper, I say, just say the word yes.
Yes.
Oh well, in that case, I suppose I could go go investigate the culprit. If you would like me to do that.
Sure. That would be super helpful.
Fill out this paperwork so I can give it to the chief, and I'll go and interrogate the culprit for you. You kind of just put the updated bullshit information on the coin purse, and he goes to the chief. He says, "Hey, chief, I'm gonna go interrogate the coin purse snatcher." All right. Make sure you ain't out too long.
Yes, we would like
Understand,
that
Chief.
purse returned to our party. It's pretty important.
Looker kind of comes back out. All right, let's go look for that. Let's go find that culprit.
Okay.
Walk outside of the guard outpost. I think we should go a little bit outside of town.
Okay.
You could think you can make that little hut thing you made last time, just in case.
Of course. We're gonna wait until they went to a safe location, and then after that, she's gonna make the hut.
You guys kind of walk about 30 minutes outside of town towards the sort of grass fields that you guys have been at before, and you cast your tiny hut, and you guys are all inside of this tiny hut. And he says, "So I got. Let me just get that right off the bat. This isn't not good at all.
How bad is the situation?
Yeah, Major Dormo S is bad. It's very
Do you know who that person is?
sort of the pen name. He's a kingpin. He's a gang leader, cartel owner. He's a mafioso. He's underworld, and these guys are working with Major Dormo S. That's complicates things.
I mean,
Quite
do
a bit.
you think we might actually get the guards in our boat with this, since this is actually targeting the capital and not just this shitty town here?
I doubt it. I don't think they're gonna give a shit. As long as they're getting paid off, I mean, it doesn't really matter to them. Yeah. Ships they're talking about. I mean, I'm not really acquainted with that sort of thing, but I guess a small fleet of merchant ships that are just delivering things, and imports. I don't think they're doing it to mess with the capital so much as they are to just steal the stuff that's being imported. That is.
Was your superior trying to get you to drop this investigation?
Tries to make sure he tries to put me in my place to make sure I know not to interfere, I go and tell anybody, that type of thing. Obviously, I don't really. Thinks he has me under his thumb. He obviously doesn't.
Do you have any idea where this meetup location might be?
Reading it, I mean, it says right here. There's Rocky Spire right next to the orange seagulls. Maybe it's something out in the ocean.
Hey,
I mean,
Dancer,
I guess,
you can ask the
like,
seagull from before.
but
That's true. I could ask Big Beak if he knows anything about the seagulls.
I don't think it's a literal animal.
Yeah, the orange seagulls are the pirates, remember?
Alright, I could still ask them about the little island or something.
if I were to guess any sort of hideout, it's probably some sort of cave or island near here. I mean, there aren't any islands close by, but I mean, if the storm riders are working with, and they have griffins, I mean, they can fly over there. Fuck,
Might
man.
be the cave in this map. Fee gonna pull out her map and then point at the cave near their location. If I remember correctly, there's one.
Yeah, there was
Yes,
one
there
on the
is a
tourist
cave.
attraction.
That's definitely a possibility. That's definitely a possibility. And it's the best thing we've got at this point. So
What's the
that's
plan
probably
now?
what we'd have to go with, yeah.
Yeah, we can go
The
investigate.
only thing
that
is, I
cave.
mean, there's no date on this. I mean, we don't know when they're meeting up.
Yeah, but
So,
we
I
can
mean,
pass
are we just
for
going to stake
tourists.
it out every night?
We can pass for tourists. We have the map, we have the location, so we have the perfect excuse for go snoop around there.
We're just going to stake it out every night?
Nah, we just will go like right now to check it for clues.
Right now.
I think legitimate tourists don't go at midnight to see tourist attractions.
How far is the cave from the town?
Maybe about hour and a half, a little bit of ways. Right now, I mean, if we're talking about if we go back to town, then yeah, it's about 40 minutes. Something like that.
I can scout there since I can go puff invisible and then somehow send the words back to you guys when they meet up.
Let's all go
If there's
together,
a
and you can go puff inside and scout, and we can pretend to be looking at the cave and marveling it while you're doing some bigger, deep. Sorry, I was trying to say we can go pretend to be tourists, and you can go snoop while you're not being seen, so we get to distract anyone who's there.
I mean, that's a
Can
good
do that.
plan, but I mean, if you're trying to intercept the meeting, it says that they're meeting at midnight.
Well,
Intercept it.
I prefer to have the layout beforehand.
Since I just don't know what your plan is. I mean, that makes sense. I understand.
Would you infiltrate an unknown building when you're supposed the most dangerous people will be there without having any prior information?
I mean, I think he agrees with us that it's good to scout the area out first, but he's still asking us for what's our plan once it's actually happening.
I can
Like,
tell
what
you
are we-
right now that if any of Major Dormo's, I mean, he's a big name in the underworld. If he has any of his there at this meeting, there's anything we could do about it
I had a
at
thought.
that point in time.
It says in the letter that they will not forgive another occurrence of betrayal. Is there any way to make it so that Major Dormo thinks that Oker's betrayed him again?
I have an idea. Could you show me that picture again of what he looks like? Oak. Or whatever. his
I
name
don't.
is.
I don't have a picture of Oker. He's a bald man. He's a bald man. He has a scar on connecting from his forehead to his right ear. He has
Phoebe, can you do some kind of illusion spell to show me what he looks like exactly?
The guy from the leader guy,
Yeah.
the one oh okay. Check the spell. Minor illusion. Minor illusion should.
Yeah, you
minor
can
illusion
make
should
the
do it.
face and stuff.
You can
Make
make a 3D
a-
version of him.
Make an intelligence
Gonna
check to see if you can recall his features well. Like if you can recall what he looks like.
Intelligent.
Ooh.
No,
Oh.
not his voice.
No.
I mean, you remember what he
Voice
sounds
or-
like. He has a really deep voice, and he has like sort of thick, kind of southern accent. I mean,
Yeah.
you get that he's bald, but I mean, your rendition of him, it's lacking. But I mean, it's a bald guy. He has a scar. It's not in the right place, but bald guy with the scar. That's all. That's all you really get from it.
Luker, do you know
Okay.
who Morocco is?
I've never heard that name before.
So
I'm
it is
assuming
not
it's
local?
I am assuming it's an underling or something. I've never heard of it. That's not even a common name.
Hmm.
Language. I don't even know what that is.
Interesting.
Sure. All I know is, I mean, Major Dormavas is involved in this. I mean, it's just scary.
I mean, even though it's not like the best picture of him, I could still try to disguise myself as him and I like do the little trick. As long as we stay a little bit further away, it shouldn't be too noticeable. We'll just have to, I don't know, find a way, like shoot at them from afar and just tell them the deal's off or something. That way they'll just fight themselves internally.
Or
Yeah, the
we
plan.
could
Put
storm the
Pulver.
camp and you can get a really close look at him and make sure the mask of many faces is perfect.
That's true, we could also do that.
And that is a plan if you were to try and go the sort of offensive route. I mean, if you guys are somehow able to, it's a shot. It's a long shot. If you're able to kill Oker and maybe take his identity, I mean, I don't normally propose this type of thing, but he's an evil fucking bastard and he deserves to die anyways. You could probably intercept it then if you're really worried about it. I know I am, but I'm not gonna ask you all to get involved if you don't really want to.
I mean, we could definitely do that.
Is there anyone higher up that would care about this information that we could get the information to outside of
I think they are involved.
Anyone that we can get it to in a reasonable time? No. There are gonna be people that care about this information, but I mean nobody around here.
Sure.
So maybe we should see about making sure this information gets out, just in case whatever scheme we come up with doesn't work out.
The best we could do is send a letter to the capital. I mean, the capital is gonna care. The capital's very much gonna care, but I mean, take a couple of weeks for it to get to the capital.
Well,
If it
something
doesn't get
needs to
lost on its way towards the
Best.
capital,
Yeah.
Not to mention, if we try and send a letter, it's gonna be read. They're not gonna let that go through.
Yeah, we can try to get to another town to send the letter out, but I don't know. Just a thought.
I mean, something we could do if we wanted to just get inside the encampment. We could just you guys could just pretend to be slave traders.
I could let her borrow my camera if she can sneak in there again and take a picture.
Can do that.
Yeah, we
That's what you want to do.
The camera requires a little bit of setup. We might need some. I don't think it's just a quick in and out like last time.
I mean,
It requires some setup, but I mean, I'm just giving you guys options.
what we could do is, Reggie, you look like you could make a fine slave trader. You could just take me on a leash. I'll disguise myself, and Fee goes in invisibly, and you sell me. I'll take a good look at him. Fee's gonna cast invisibility on me, and then I'm just gonna go out again, or just misty step myself out somehow.
What the hell
Other
do you
thing
mean?
is
I
that,
look like a good slave trader.
Well, you have been a mercenary for a while,
But
so
it is
that's
gonna
kind
have
of stuff.
Yeah,
Really?
legally sanctioned mercenary. I was never a slave trader.
That's true.
I
but
agree with
looks,
Reggie. I mean, it's gonna put a bad reputation to his name and stuff.
I mean, he's obviously not gonna become a slave trader.
I don't think it's going to work, guys. Imagine someone from what place you have no idea coming up offering you slaves.
I mean,
Yeah, no, we don't need to be a slave trader. They hire random thieves off the street. Like, if we just wanted to enter in the lower ranks, we could just say we're looking for some work because we're tired of hitting licks. You know, we're making no money. Like, we don't have to be slave traders.
not to
have an
mention, I mean, there's the
idea.
fact that
Well, if we can
Yeah.
get Oker somewhere private where we can get him like off, then the plan of impersonating him might work. But he surely must be at least incapacitated.
I mean, another thing we're not considering is that, I mean, they're gonna be on guard. They came
Especially
in.
since we broke in. They're going to
Joker
be
literally
on high
saw
alert.
you.
I wasn't
He
there.
didn't saw my face, and I was disguised myself so I doesn't look like Fee.
Yeah, but you are a halfling. No offense. Your kind is a little rare in these parts.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I can disguise myself to look like a dwarf or something like that, maybe?
You can make yourself look like a dwarf or a gnome. Yeah.
I
Since
still
Fee has
think
proficiency with the disguise tool, she can literally make her look like one.
plans. I still think we
I
have to
think-
get him.
And the
Like
fact of the
alone.
matter is, I mean, they're gonna be on guard. Somebody came in to their encampment, jumped out of a window. He's gonna realize that the letter's missing. Maybe, I don't know about that, but Booker is not incompetent. He might be the leader of a bandits, and most of them are incompetent. But I mean, he isn't.
You don't
I
think
think
neither is it.
We just need to decide our plan of attack. Are we going to assault them or are we going to infiltrate them? Because those two things require very different plans.
So,
I don't think we can assault them if they're having like 100 people inside the camp.
I mean, I think we might be able to do it. I have a couple. I have a that are willing to help that I trust with my life. I mean, there's also those other adventurers.
Do
Must
you
be
really
pretty
want
strong.
to risk
We know
the
they're in
lives
on
of
this.
your men?
I think as long as you can make some sort of riot happen with the slaves and the kobolds, I think you'd have a chance. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy.
Make them go out all together since I can go inside and then the doors and stuff for them to get out?
Yeah, I mean, how is it like secured? Is there like a moat door thing?
No, we've already scouted the place. There's no walls. There's only one large building, and the rest are like tents surrounded in an area.
All right, so we can literally just walk in.
Well, yeah, there's patrols, but yes, we could literally just walk in.
I can walk in, cast a thunder wave, and then poof myself invisible again, and then run away. Maybe.
I mean,
That's a big maybe.
Fion, how many people can you cast your invisibility?
2.
So you and one other.
Let
two
let
other
let me
guys.
check. Yeah, 2.
Actually, I think 3.
Wait.
Third level slots, don't you?
Yeah, 3rd level.
Oh wait, no, you're right. 2. Sorry, yeah, 2.
I am honestly leaning more towards the assault plan more and more as I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's just me though. But
me
you
too,
know,
I
if we
I
get
was
that
just-
whole party over there helping us, plus us, plus whatever guys he's got, I mean, we can take out the chumps. Like they got a whole bunch of them, but we can stand our own. If we can slip someone in while they're distracted with us to free the slaves, maybe find them some weapons. I don't know. I think we might got a chance of disrupting their whole operation. But
True,
it'll be very dangerous, and people are probably gonna die.
Yeah, Reggie. Now
Yeah,
think
that's
about
why.
it.
That's why I thought we could just we could just assassinate him. Like we send one guy in there invisibly. We somehow get some poison or something. Put it in his tea or whatever. He's dead. Then someone takes his identity and will just wage war against um the the other guys and let the bad guys fight each other to death.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, I just think that there's a lot of variables with that plan that aren't being accounted for that might complicate matters if we went that route.
Reggie, recall the state that we found the another adventuring party this morning. Do you think they're reliable? The dwarf was drunk as like there was no tomorrow, and the 2 others were missing, so we had to go rescue them.
Granted, saying that a dwarf is drunk, I mean, it's not exactly uncommon.
Exactly, but he was not conscious. I don't expect somebody who's unconscious to be
think
fighting.
that I'm not really concerned about them as much. I think that they were caught off guard by a swarm of bees. I think if the rest of the party knew what was going on, they would be prepared.
Maybe. My point is they are not really reliable.
Well, they don't need to be reliable. They just need to be distracting.
I mean, I've seen the barbarian woman. She looks like she's really strong.
Yeah, but she's alone.
I think she alone could take on like 6 of those bandits by herself.
And then die.
Not exactly a good fighter, but I mean, I can at least take on maybe a single one of them. You know, I mean, I can hold my own. My buddies, I mean, they're not half bad either.
Okay, let's assume that's around the barbarian and you can hold maximum of like 10 people. Who's gonna deal with the other 90 people?
I mean, what we could do is we could send in Fee and someone else invisibly, get some torches, set their tents on fire, and in the confusion start attacking them. That way, they like some of them might get burned by the fire. Most of them will be confused, and the slaves might have a chance to rebel.
I think that there are a couple of main things we have to consider. One, the griffins, okay?
Yeah, totally.
I don't know if you've ever seen one of them before. They're
No,
monstrosities. I mean,
I believe you.
body of lion, head of eagle. It's gonna if the griffins get out, it's gonna be a lot more complicated. Another thing we have to consider, I mean, there are children in this encampment. I don't know about you, but I'm not willing to risk the lives of those children. I don't want to risk the lives of the slaves either. Not the children.
I mean, we cannot not risk the lives of anyone if we actually go in there and try to Rambo it. If
I'm
we
just
go in
saying
there
that we need to take this with caution. I mean, we need to think about every possibility. Agency.
That's why I'm leaning more towards killing the boss. You know, when
I
you
mean,
cut
bandits
the
aren't-
head of the snake dies.
could you get some kind of very potent poison or venom that would kill someone?
It's probably something you'd be able to get from Mr. Major Dormo. That's not my specialty. I don't deal with underworld stuff.
I've heard there's a
Not mine
witch
either.
somewhere. Do you think she could help?
I'm not assassin in this campaign.
Who knows? I couldn't tell you.
I mean, how
Anything's a
much-
possibility, but
So the
how much
easiest
time
way
do
would
we have
be
till this has to happen?
poison him.
Till this midnight, right?
I don't think poisoning him would be the easiest way, no. With the least amount of conflict, I guess, but it's not the easiest.
Yep.
Guys, I just had an idea.
Well,
Speaking about poisons, I'm not talking about strong poison. I'm talking something that will make you puke or go to the privy a lot. Causes a lot of discomfort. So that's a distraction and sort of incapacitating a lot of people. You know, people eat food.
Right. You want to spike their water.
Either their water or their
They
food.
all eat from the same pot.
oh,
Well, in that case, we just get Fee. If we just get Fee in there invisibly, put some weird poisonous berry in there or something that makes them shit their pants, and then we can attack them maybe.
I don't know if
Maybe
there's
it
any.
will
I
be
mean,
easier to sneak in and pick up single targets.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not gonna be able to get you guys poison. I don't have access to it. We have some plants around here that do a very small amount. I mean, very small. I mean, the most that they would do is make somebody feel a little nauseous.
That's perfect. Either nauseous or something like everything.
I don't have anything like a
Anything.
laxative, if that's what you're asking. I mean,
Can a mixture of plants have that effect?
and he's told you. I mean, around here, I mean, the most that you're gonna be able to make is something that's gonna make somebody nauseous. And if you were able to make and that would actually damage somebody, it's probably not gonna kill them.
Well, we don't need to kill them. We just need them to not be moving and fighting properly, or at least not be moving and fighting at all. The best
Yeah, or
option.
have disadvantage on their attacks. No, I'm kidding.
Basically, I mean, yeah, you might be able to make something to give people the poisoned, like the sickened, aka poisoned condition. Like that's like the most you're really gonna be able to do. So they'll be worse at fighting if you're able to get that. But I mean,
No major
okay, so
disruptions.
they eat from the same pot.
but I mean, it takes multiple pots per encampment, so I mean, like, you'll be able to about half of them. Also, there's a chance that the slaves might get poisoned.
I mean, I have a question here. Poison spray is a spell that creates a gaseous cloud of poison. If I were to aim that inside of the soup or something, would the poison just go into the soup and just become part of it, or would it not work at all?
It would fizzle away. It's an instantaneous spell, so I mean, like, after it does its thing, any effect it could have is just gone.
Alright.
Yeah, that's what happens with magic.
I think that the best plan is to cause some sort of ruckus or riot with the slaves and the kobolds. I mean, the kobolds aren't going to help very much, but I mean, kobolds. I mean, kobolds, they're not entirely useless. I mean, they're a lot more strategic than... I don't know.
Thinking about people.
I'm not entirely sure. I think that more time has to be spent thinking about this. Maybe take a day off. Really think about everything. And talk with the other adventurers as well.
I also want to go investigate the caves.
I mean, this is a big deal.
Alright, well, we're not doing anything against the encampment today, so I mean, if you just want to have a look around those caves, we can do that today. We got nothing else to do.
Let's go. And let the other adventurers rest. They are going to need it more than we do.
Okay, so I think that's going to be a good place to end the session before you guys go off and venture to go explore the nearby cave system.
Okay.
So, in between the downtime of our next session, I want you guys to be maybe thinking of a plan, like a finalized thing. We're gonna say that we're gonna have some downtime, maybe like a day or two in game, a downtime, make a plan and to investigate and do those types of things. So we'll be able to talk about that. Going to prepare for raiding or infiltrating or whatever you guys are wanting to do.
Yeah, we'll
Heads
have
up,
to think about
right?
it.
Make sure you have a general idea of some stuff you'd like to do, because we're going to be having a little bit of downtime exposition session.
Okay.
If you have any questions about that type of stuff, you can message me. Respond eventually. It was a good session.
Okay, yeah.
Well, hope you guys all had fun.
Yep.
I got the fire in my gun.
We had combat. But we'll be having a big combat soon. So
Yeah,
that's gonna be the tower defense.
I'm eager for a full-on assault. Let's say, let's buy some freaking oil flasks. Let's light this mother down.
I prefer more subtle methods of distraction.
I know you do.
Yeah, I think the best way would still be to start this war with like a lot of fire, just burn their tents, let Fee go in there invisibly.
I'm gonna stand 600 feet away and shoot at people, and I'll probably be able to kill them before they can run to me.
Not everyone
Thing
can
happened.
stand that far away.
Feekin came back to your location, Reggie, and then cast a tiny hut.
Actually,
and stuff like that.
that's good. If we have a tiny hut set up ahead of time, it could be a fallback position in case
Yeah,
the
but
griffins start.
but I need to be inside that
Yep.
to it to work because the moment we step out from the tiny hut, it's gonna disappear.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you guys have a bit to think about. I'll see you guys next week, same time, same day, all that good stuff.
Yep, see ya.
See you.
See you.
Bye.
See ya.
And when I say I'm going to stand 600 feet away and shoot at people, what I mean is I'm going to stand 600 feet away and shoot at people while 9 of our companions are fighting other people ahead of me. I'm not going to just go out there alone and start shooting people. That's crazy.
Yep. Sounds good. I have to go too, guys. I'll see you somewhere later,
Okay.
maybe.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
We just have to write our tactics in chat. I'll come up with something. So see ya.
You.
Yeah.
All right, I got to take
So-
my nap now, so
Yeah, you
take
have
care.
to go sleep.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Okay. Planning for the downtime we have between games. So let's see what we come up with. Because we have few interesting ideas, but we didn't actually decide on anything. So we need to discuss this a little bit more before we execute it. Thank you for being around, guys. I'm gonna take lunch break and be back later. Bye bye for now.